Hurricane Gilbert. Can you believe people thought it was just a little rain? Some even laughed. But hours later, your roof gone. Water running through your living room, trees flying like stone from a bingy, zinc lift up and scatter all about. The sky screaming and howling like the world was going to end. The truth is, they were warned. The Prime Minister at the time, the Most Honorable Edward Seaga, was out in the streets himself, walking with a mic in hand, urging people to go home and prepare for the hurricane. He could see that many Jamaicans weren't taking it serious, but as we'd soon find out, cause Gilbert wasn't joking. And Jamaica was thrown straight into the middle of a hurricane war zone. This is the story of Hurricane Gilbert, the storm that didn't knock politely, it kicked down the door. If you've lived through it, this video will probably jog your memories. You thought that you forgot. And if, like me, you were born after Gilbert, prepare to feel like you were right there, holding the door shut while the zinc roof blew off. How old were you when Gilbert came? What was your experience like? I'd like to know. Where in Jamaica were you when the attack lap started? Start commenting below. I'm Alexia, and this is Jamaica in 10. Stay to the end as we dive into the storm that tested Jamaica's strength, spirit, and sense of humor all at once.
But Sidney Lewis was not so lucky. This is what's left of the house he was born in 74 years ago, the only home he's ever known.
It's a total loss for me, please. It is a total loss for me. I've never run through this before. I don't want help. I need help.
And that aptly sums up the plight of Gilbert's victims here in Jamaica. Proud people whose lives have now been left in a shambles. People who are now looking to the U.S. to help them put things back together. As the man said, they don't want help, they need it.
And now, as we await the landfall of Hurricane Melissa, a powerful Category 4 hurricane packing winds of up to 220 kilometers per hour, the talk all over Jamaica cannot be ignored. Everywhere you turn, people are chat. Melissa looked like she come to mash up the place worse than Gilbert. Let's hope not. But if Gilbert taught us anything, it's this. Never take a hurricane lightly. Preparation can make all the difference. So secure your home, check on your neighbors, make sure your emergency supplies are ready, and most importantly, evacuate if needs be. And while you're here, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends and family. Whether they love Jamaican history or just need a timely reminder to stay safe, this story is worth spreading.
The first thing that went was a pear tree, one by one. The tree just fallen.
But it's now over, and this is one lucky family.
I was worried and, not be able to talk to her, no contact whatsoever. It's just, I can't tell you, fantastic. I'm happy too.
This story didn't begin with rain and wind. It began quietly, far away off the coast of Africa. A small weather disturbance formed on September 3, 1988. No big deal at first, just a breeze. But within days, it had transformed into a monster. By September 10, it was a Category 3 hurricane, and Jamaica was right in its focus. On September 11, the warning went out. Hurricane Gilbert a come. Some Jamaicans rushed to board up windows, stock up on tin mackerel, crackers, and kerosene oil. Others still around, saying like, "We lived through Hurricane Allen in the 80s. This one can't worse." But this one was worse. Supermarkets were chaos. People were buying out every tin food, every candle, and oddly, every single pack of toilet paper like it was gold. Hardware stores were emptier than a fridge the day before payday.
It's not time for everybody to pull together.
The organisations of both political parties have been involved in food distribution, and representatives of the parties are members of parish disaster committees across the island.
I have made it clear to the Prime Minister that we offer, both in terms of myself personally and on behalf of the People's National Party, full solidarity, cooperation and support in all of the enormous efforts that have now to be made, first in the area of relief and secondly, in the area of reconstruction.
Then came the 12th of September. At 10 a.m., Gilbert made landfall near Morant Point in St. Thomas. The eye of the hurricane, 15 miles wide, took a slow, deliberate journey across the island, east to west, like a thief who knew that there was no rush. Him just take him little time. The wind was a full-on sky destruction. Kingston felt it, winds pushing 120 to 150 miles per hour. Roofs gone, power lines down, banana trees root up and lay down flat. People watch helplessly as their belongings literally flew away. Clarendon rivers swelled and flooded entire communities. In Portland, houses crumbled, leaving families huddled under tarpaulin. In St. Thomas, the Yellows River broke its banks and washed away bridges. Even the Norman Manley Airport looked like a scene from a disaster movie. Flights cancelled, terminals flooded, zinc and debris everywhere. And in some parishes, the only way to describe the wind was one long, continuous scream. For 6 brutal hours, Jamaica took a terrible beating. And then just like that, Gilbert passed.
Clearly, Hurricane Gilbert has wreaked havoc on these people's lives, but their attitude is simple. They can always rebuild. It could have been much worse.
Hard. But we are lucky we are alive. And that's what counts, because we're alive.
Now begins the massive disaster relief effort. The first plane load of U.S. supplies arrived this afternoon.
What was left behind was something out of a nightmare. Over 100,000 homes were damaged or destroyed. More than 500,000 Jamaicans were affected. Entire communities flattened. Crops gone. Lifestyle gone. Electricity gone. Water supply down by half. People were catching rainwater in buckets, cooking outdoors and listening to battery radios. Animals perished. Lives ruined. Families displaced. That was normal for Gilbert. The official death toll ranged between 45 and 49, but many believe it was higher. Hillsides collapsed, landslides swept away homes. Even hospitals were on backup power. Schools were closed for weeks, and the cost was devastating. In 1988 dollars, over US $700 million in damage. Today, that would equate to about US $4 billion. Agriculture was wiped out and infrastructure shattered. But in true Jamaican fashion, people found a way to laugh through the pain. Nothing captured that better than Wild Gilbert by Lovin' Dare.
Wild Gilbert, want to come in me room.
The hit that turned tragedy into comedy. People played it on battery radios, in shelters, and on corners. It was like the medicine for the spirit. And almost 40 years later, this song is still a popular hit. Still, recovery was slow. Relief came from the United States, Canada, and the Caribbean, but many families lived displaced for months, roofless, homeless, and hopeless. The government worked to rebuild, but the destruction was too massive. One bright spot, though, was the creation of the ODPEM, the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management. In the early 1990s, Gilbert showed us how unprepared we were and that we needed an organization to plan, to coordinate, and to lead Jamaica's disaster response. One dedicated to reducing risk, preparing communities, and ensuring that when disasters strike like Gilbert, the country can respond faster, stronger, and of course, smarter. To this very day, if you mention Gilbert to anyone over 40, you're guaranteed to hear a story. Whether it's zinc flying into a neighbor yard, pigs swimming by a living room window, bathing in rainwater, or sharing one tin of sardine for 5 family members. Everybody remembers where they were when Gilbert mashed up the place. Gilbert even changed our language. To this day, when a hurricane's coming, someone will say, "Why? That wanna look like Gilbert, you know?" And instantly, it's panic mode. Gilbert was a legend, one that scarred the land but revealed the true heart of Jamaicans. Tough, resourceful, and always ready to laugh in the face of disaster. So where were you when Gilbert mashed up the place? Were you under the bed hiding, holding down the roof, or on a boat, or running after your fridge in the yard? Please share your stories in the comments. Let's remember together, because if Hurricane Gilbert teach us one thing, or if it teach us anything, is that Jamaicans were resilient and we just build different.
So here's a little fun fact about Hurricane Gilbert. The name Gilbert was retired from the list of hurricane names due to its widespread impact, extensive damage, and extreme loss of life. The name Hurricane Gilbert, or the name Gilbert, will never be used again for another Atlantic hurricane.
So please, take Hurricane Melissa serious. Heed the warnings. Move to higher ground if needed. Ensure that you have stocked up on food, water, and other emergency supplies, because we don't want no tragedy and we don't want no devastation. Well, I hope you learned something today, because I certainly did. Remember to be safe. Remember to be safe in this hurricane. I'm about to head inside now to my family. Please remember to like, to share, to comment, and to subscribe for more informative Jamaica in 10 videos. I love you all. Please be safe. Take care.